You see this here? This herd of skeletal horses is what happens when you do interiors during a thunderstorm. And you just let it go on and on for a little while, just powering through all of the different lightning strikes. You end up with 12 skeletal horses. And you may be wondering, wait, there isn't 12 here. Yeah, there was 12, not anymore. Unfortunately, I happened to end one by accident when trying to fight off the skeletal archers on top of them when they were spawned. After that, I had 11 left, which is quite a lot. I mean, even still, this is still quite a lot. But I put them into this pen, finished what I was doing over at that base over there, and then I wanted to make a thumbnail showing off all of these guys that happened by accident in that last episode, which if you haven't seen, check it out. It's pretty cool. I show you how I got all of these guys. And in the process of making that super cool, spooky thumbnail, a creeper comes out of nowhere and ends 3 of them. It was so sad. Oh, I'm still sad about it. Luckily, I still have 8, which is quite a lot, and who knows, this area might produce even more in the future if I happen to continue to build through thunderstorms, which I still do. Where'd my wings go? I'm supposed to have a cape on. I decided to put on the creeper cape, or at least that's what I put on last time. Last episode when I became a man, wearing man skin, but that's when I decided between capes. And this isn't the one I chose. Everything is so weird right now. Well, needless to say, I'm grateful for getting all these guys. Anyway, let's not get distracted. Let's get on with this episode. Oh, hi. Hello, I am your host, Dr. Banana, PhD. Thank you for tuning in. We have exciting builds to get on. Let me... Can I do this in this angle? Yeah, that's the one. Let's go. Flying on through the city, we had made this. Let's see if I can land on here. There we go. We constructed the diagonal coffee corner in the latest episode, and I am just so happy with how this build turned out and how it looks in relation to every other building here. Hold on, it's getting dark. I have to have a sleep. Yep, I keep my bed right in front of the florist because it's out of the shot of everything else, and I don't have a home yet. Well, I do have a home, just not here in the mega base. That is yet to come. I have a lot of very important buildings to put down first. Okay, anyway, we built this in the last episode, and I am so very proud of it. It currently does not have an interior just yet, but why don't we take a look at the exterior from last time? We utilized dark oak and a little bit of texturing with this lighter block, which is mangrove. If we go back, we can see the tiny bit of highlights I tried to put on this side. Since the sun rises there, this is at an angle. It makes sense that it would catch a little bit of light, create a little bit of shadow. To do that, put in a little bit of the oak log to act as a highlight. It's subtle, and I really like it. This is also the first building to feature outdoor seating. I love this little outdoor seating patio area. Don't worry about those guys. They're for a future project. I try to make it look like kind of woven wicker chairs, the sturdy kind, the ones that are meant to go outside, and then a nice little sleek table with the umbrellas and also the teal and the whites to be on theme with the rest of the building. And going on inside, I have a nice, beautiful checkerboard floor that isn't too distracting with some very subtle texturing on the offset blocks. I love these blocks. This here is a beehive. I make a ton of beehives, considering the bee farm right over there produces a ton of wax. You can see them out there, look. Hi, bees. And this other block is the chiseled bookshelf. I just love how they are so similar to each other with minor variations. I'm excited to fill this space of this place. I might do that in this episode. I might not. We'll see what we have in store. Filling the interior of this place is the focus of this episode. We're going to make it nice and fun and comfy cozy. And much like last episode, we started off by making a beautiful interior for the restaurant. And that's what's going to happen with this build. We're going to fill it up with a nice, beautiful coffee interior. And maybe we'll do the upstairs up there behind me for the apartments. Exiting this building here, right across the street, is where the new building is going to go that I alluded to in the last episode. Right over here next to the greenhouse in this space, diagonally again, is going to be the record store. I look so small in frame right over here. I am so excited to get this build underway. It was a unique aesthetic that I tried to show here, and also it was a challenge translating that into a diagonal format. This build is shorter than the rest. I did not want to break up the sight lines going down that road and then going over there. Each building I want here is going to be visually distinct from the rest, either in terms of architecture or color. So I'm excited to make all of these builds come together. Why don't we continue on getting those resources? It is almost wintertime and holiday time at the time of recording here on this server, and I bet by the time this video goes live, it will be holiday time, or at least very close to it. So I want to get into the decorating spirit for the approaching holiday season. And we already have an amazing opportunity to do so right here with this beautiful big pine/spruce tree. We are going to turn this guy into a nice decorated Christmas tree. Oh no, I'm down here. That's right, this is going to be decorated for the first time in this world here as a Christmas tree. Now, let's go gather a ton of material for ornaments and fun decorations. For this decoration montage, I am going to not just plan it out, I'm going to go freeform, off the cuff, to decorate this thing from top to bottom, maybe put some presents down there. I don't want to go in with any strict plan, I just want to do it freeform, because who actually plans out from top to bottom how to decorate the Christmas tree? That does not feel like that is in proper spirit. So the biggest thing that I have to question right now is what kind of blocks do I want to use for the ornaments? Am I going to use concrete or wool? I guess we'll find out soon enough. First, let's take inventory of what we actually have. Wool, we do not have that much. Wow, I really have not been collecting that much wool. And I know that I don't have that much, if at all, any concrete. Yeah, no. Wait. Yeah, this is all I have. Ooh, that's a nice red. Let's just take these and do a little proof of concept. I'm now able to add this stuff into the stone cutter to get the mini blocks, which I'm so excited about. You know what? Why don't we check the mini blocks section first to see what we can utilize? I have quite a fun and sizable collection, but I don't know if all of these are going to be entirely useful. I mean, these are going to be fun to use. I'll have to figure out how to exactly use them, but I'm excited. Let's see, redstone block. That makes for a fun little ornament, doesn't it? The target block is pretty fun. Yeah, why don't I take some of this? Why not decorate with mini diamond blocks? I think that's fun. Oh, I have some of these colored ones already. Let me just make a ton more of these little mini blocks, and then we'll be on our way to start the fun decoration process. Why can this not... What? I can't turn wool into a mini block? Well, that sucks. I made so many cyan. Oh my goodness. Can I make mini honey blocks? Please tell me I can make mini honey blocks. I can! This will make a nice, like, gold-toned little ornament. Alright, I think we got everything we need. Let's skedaddle. Actually, first it's getting dark. Let's have a little sleepy sleep. It's been a long time since we slept in an actual bed like this. Much better than sleeping out in the rain with thunderstorms. And we have an actual fun comforter, look at that. If you don't know, I have several different data packs on this server that allows me to do some fun, slight little vanilla tweak stuff there, and this is one of them. These are just custom banners put on top of the bed to make a comforter, and I love these tiny little details. This teleportation compass is another example of the many different types of quality of life data packs that I have here on this server that, after using them for so long, I really cannot live without. You know, I also think a ton of candles are really going to benefit on the tree. Oh, hello bees. Why don't we take inventory of how much we have? We have quite a bit, and we have, wow, we have the potential to make a ton. I feel like these are going to make a ton of fun lights to string all around the tree. Why don't we take these and make a ton more? You know, take a stack out of here and go to the candle making station and start crafting up some candles. I think this is all we need, right? No, we can do a little bit more. Boom and boom. This should be plenty of candles. If not, I can make a ton more. Why don't we get to dyeing them? Very squishy, visceral sounds these guys are making. Let's take a look at our flower availability. Use the side door. I hardly ever get to use a side door, and appreciate this little awning with the tall flowers in the little vases, the flower pots. One of the other many different data packs that we have on here to add some more details while still keeping in with the vanilla style. Now that we're in the florist, let's take a look at the different flowers. Alright. That's That's looking okay. That's not impressive, but at least we have a good amount of each kind of flower. Why don't we go with yellow and red? What else is Christmassy? Green? Can we do green lights? Is that a thing on Christmas trees? Yellow, red, purple? Question mark? Blue? Light blue? Pink? Now let's get some orange, yellow, some red. Let's get some light blue. Yeah, I like that. Let's go with it. All of the lights are now up in the tree, and I think it looks so cool. Just the little tiny pops of color that these candles give, even unlit, really adds to the whole vibe of this Christmas tree. It was so tedious hanging all of these up, you have no idea. Why do they make candles so tedious? See, these ones here that are on top of a leaf block, I had to replace that leaf block with a solid block. It took forever. And now with all that tedious work done with putting up these Christmas lights, I have a few more work to get going, which is putting up the ornaments. Then we'll do the star, and then we can light these candles up. Alright, just broke the scaffolding and collected everything. Why don't we take a step back and take a look at the fully decorated tree. Ooh, that's really cool. Oh, I love it. You know, this is perfect. This is so fitting for one of those massive trees that it's in the center or near the center of a grand city plaza or park, and it's just fully decorated from top to bottom, and I feel like this captures that essence perfectly. I see a tiny little line of green, so I'm going to change out one of them so it's not such a striking line of green, but I just absolutely love this. This is incredible. It's always raining when I'm trying to record. How could you? Alright, let me change out this little green guy so that it looks a little bit better and more random. Just break all that, break my legs, collect all of that. Oh yes, that's amazing. A tiny little shulker box. And we can see all of the little mini blocks that I wanted to include on this tree. We have a target block. This is honey that I used for the yellow/gold color. I wanted a little bit more than just a flat color like these guys. Amethyst block. That guy is a sticky piston. And of course the TNT. I feel like I have a few crafting tables in there. And also the lit redstone lamp. The last and final thing to put on top of the tree is the star up there. And for that, I think I have a bright idea. Dirt up onto the bamboo fence. Let's do, boom, the frog light. Ooh, it already looks so good. Just one more thing to really elevate this a notch. Alright, I think we're cooking. I just need to reach around to this side here. With that guy, this might be too much. Let's wait until we take a look. Collect this dirt, not litter on top of the tree. Let's swing on around and see if this works. Don't mind that, that's just my camera. Ooh! Oh wow, that's so good! Oh, that's so fun! Oh yeah, this was a good idea. And bam! There it is in all of its glory, all lit up in the nighttime. It looks so good and I'm so happy with it, especially the star on top that really comes together. Let's give a cool fly around, maybe with some shaders, to see how this looks in the nighttime. And man, it just looks so good. I'm so happy with this whole thing, and all of the little ornaments, mini blocks, decorations really ties well into this area as the first Christmas decoration, and probably the only Christmas decoration. This tree is going to be framed so well next to the building that we have in store for this episode, right next to it, across the street from the cafe. Another diagonal build. Why don't we get started on collecting the resources to build it? These guys just won't leave me alone. Over and over again, I gotta eliminate them from this area. You know, this is a great opportunity to get the ominous bottles. Hopefully I get a high-level ominous bottle. That way I can do some trial chambers later on in the future, or a nice raid. Let's see what I got there. Oh, number 4. I think I only ever get 1 and 4. I don't know why. That's really weird. Anyway, so I am going to need a good amount of the blue warped hyphae, or warped log. I like calling it warped log, not the hyphae or whatever it's called. Anyway, looks like I only have 13 at the moment. I'm going to need to amass a lot more. Let me go check on my storage over at the Copper Home to see if I have enough. And if not, it's going to be a trip to the Nether. Alright, I finally found this place after searching for a long time. So now it is time to collect a ton of this warp stem and hopefully not die in the Nether. That would really suck. I had to teleport all the way over to the Frog Light Farm, which is somewhere, and then travel even further to try to find this place. So I am not only quite lost, but also quite far away from anything, and I really hope to not lose my things. Gonna collect some of these lights while I can. Okay, just finished up a couple minutes of resource gathering, and it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just about a half stack, and that is plenty. I am just going to use it to create an accent wall and a few furniture pieces. I don't need a ton. It's not going to be a new building made out of this stuff. So I got everything I need. I teleported here to go put away the stuff into the basement, and then I'll be able to gather the rest of the resources and get started on the interior of the cafe. Okay, we have all the materials that we need to get started on this project in the shulker boxes here. And when we plop them down and take a little look at what we got, we're going to use smooth stone, some tuff, also all of the warp stem, and then the dark oak trapdoor. We're not doing a full and complete interior, just the main building portion, scaffolding blocks, major decorations, and then all of the tiny little minor decorations like we did in the kitchen area of that place will come at a later date. But I'm excited to get this going. Let's start it up. Okay, the first step in this interior is to complete the roof / floor of the next building. Actually, the floor of the next building will be at this height. Don't mind the frog lights on the windows. I set that up for the very spooky Halloween thumbnail. And also, up here will be one of the apartment buildings later on in the future, and I think it has such great views. You can see the nice decorated tree at this time of year, which is very nice, and into the city center. So whoever lives in this little section of this place is going to have such a great view. Finishing up this top section here, dropping down, take a little look at the ceiling. I didn't want it to be too distracting. Just a couple beams running down that way. We have an interior that is 6 blocks high, even 6.5 in these slab sections. I am such a fan of large interiors. It really allows a place to breathe. But now that the ceiling is up, why don't we get started on the actual floor plan of this interior? It's going to use some of the tough blocks. I love using the tough blocks. Why don't we get started there? And then it's going to make its way on over like this. I'm starting to get the hang of building with diagonals. I really like it now. It was quite a challenge. Well, it always is a challenge, but doing it over and over again for long enough, you start to get the hang of it and start to understand how it all works and how it all comes together. Kind of want to add some minor variation in these textures here to really lend itself well to the decorative pattern. Perfect. Accent wall complete. All right, time to place the countertops. Boom, 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 and then that is polished. Then I need this guy here. Boom, boom, complete. Okay, now that the counter is here, we are going to tear all of this out to create a different kind of floor for this back of house area. Alright, I'm thinking this palette here with the tough and the smooth stone. Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's do that. And done. Ooh, that looks very good. Let me come over here. Oh yeah, that's very nice. It's a great separation between the lounge area and the work area. Let's move some of this stuff, and now time to place the tables and chairs. that is the palette that I'm thinking of. I wanted to go with the warped stair there to accent the warped, of course, the warped wood here, but also the cyan tones that make up the aesthetic of this place. So I'm going to place these guys down and we'll see how it looks when I'm all done. Okay, the details are in. The chairs and tables are here, along with the counter and the siding. And this was a great opportunity to use the special data pack that we have that transforms the display entities so that I can add these trap doors along all the sides of this counter here, because I wanted the kind of dark wood siding all along and make it continuous without any kind of gap. And I think it works really, really well. In using this data pack, you must have one of these blocks that it does consume. So in that sense, it is survival friendly. So this actually is a display just for decoration. But I just love using all these tiny little data packs to add to all of the aesthetic and the fun little details. Let me add one final finishing touch for the interior details before we move on to the next project. Just like the flower shop over there, I want to have a cash register. Also, it's very similar in tone to the rest of that, but that was incidental. And then also a fun little display case with this to tie off the details. Boom! Oh, there we go. That looks so good. And I like how it's right next to the door. You come on in, you can take a look at whatever we'll have on display. I'm going to put a fun little decoration in here of the different types of bakery items we're going to have using either armor stands or the display entity data pack, just to have a little layered and little fun. I think this will be the final position for the cash register. If not there, then maybe over there, just to kind of open up the view into the kitchen without disrupting any sight lines. I'm getting big into sight lines now. And the cashier slash baker slash barista or what have you will be right here to greet you as you come through the door and to help you figure out what kind of pastry that you like from this side. You know, I'm so happy with all of these details of this interior of this bakery, and I'm so excited to later on in the future really add to all of the tiny little details and make this feel alive and lived in. But I've spent plenty of time in this space. It's time to move on to the next project, which is going to be right behind me across the street from this building, the record store. And a do. They're just everywhere, my goodness. There we go. We have all of our materials set up to get started on this next build. All of our shulker boxes filled with all of the wood that we'll need, primarily the mangrove wood, crafting table, and sawgo's burr right here. So without further ado, why don't we get started with a building time lapse. Let's go. The building is now complete. Man, it just feels so much larger whenever I stand right next to it. You know, I swear, it doesn't feel that much larger when you're looking at it directly, but I just look so tiny compared to this thing. I'm so happy with how this building turned out with the different tones and colors here, primarily the dark contrasted with the deep, darker saturated red, and that little tiny pop of the frog lights peeking right out the top there. It was such a challenge trying to build on this diagonal, coming up with a ton of different designs, but I just love how it turned out. Why don't we take a little look around the building? Ooh, now that it's getting dark, you can see the central lights really pop. Ooh, I love it. And the mangrove trapdoor is such an interesting shape. I like how it's a tiny little circle. Really adds some fun little details with that. Anyway, let's have a sleep and show you the rest. Where am I going? Where am I going? I'm going that way. Okay, no more nighttime. Let me show off this build. Here is the side of this building next to the greenhouse. And subtle little details. I just wanted some kind of darker stone to show on the side. This is the main presentation pillar stone, and then this is of similar tone on this side. Nothing too interesting. I think later on in the future, I might do some kind of graffiti or like a painted mural of sorts. I think that will look very cool. Maybe something like music notes or a record. I don't have many blocks to deal with here. Not much space, but I feel like I can figure something out. Maybe armor stands or the item frame, something like that. Maps, we'll figure it out. I was wanting this building to be close to the greenhouse, but not too close, and I feel like this is the proper amount of space. I also didn't know how big to make the building, but I feel like this is proper size. I didn't want anything too grand or large for just this little shop. This is supposed to be a fun little gutter detail of sorts. I tried to bring this texture up more. Maybe I need to add a little bit more of the basalt down further to show some wear, but I like how it turned out, and these tiny little windows with the bars. Why don't we see it from this angle and then step inside? So here is the interior. We close the door at an angle here. It's going to be very fun and interesting setting up little racks and shelves in here. It's always a fun challenge playing around with a diagonal build, and there's those little windows allowing the light to just peek on through, which I love. We need more natural light in a lot of these builds, and most of them, further down the line, are going to be right next to each other like they do in downtown regions, so the only light will be primarily from the front. So we really got to take advantage of when we have an exposed wall to allow some light in. Stepping on back, taking a look at the front inside of the store, and I like how it turned out. These are the frog lights in question that show up on the front, and I just cover them with the same trap door here. And I really like it. Kind of gives like a fun kind of Art Deco-y feel. These are the inside of the display windows where we'll put something there and there. Have a little bit more room to play with the window over here since I have a side display. And I'm very happy with it. I love the amount of space that we are able to play with. I didn't want it huge, but I didn't want it to feel cramped, and I feel like this is a great medium. It's right in the middle. Still debating on having some kind of back door, but I don't think it needs it. We'll see what we run into later on. Now, there is one final detail I want to add to the outside of this build before the end of this episode. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to do the interior of this place. I still have to come up with fun decorations and designs for it, but I have one more thing I want to add to the facade of this lovely build. Alright, let's place a loom there and start crafting up these banners. Need a ton of these white ones. 6. Oh, I'm 1 short. Oh wait, can I make enough with this? That will make 6. That is exactly the amount that I need. Okay. I need a total of 7. Perfect. My math was off. Time to use the loom. I had to scrounge around to find one of these. Somewhere I have an entire stack of them, so many looms. They're easy to make. Actually needed a lot of them for decoration. I used to use them before the chiseled bookshelf came out as some kind of empty bookshelf texture. That kind of looks like it a little bit. Maybe that's like the back inner lined kind of leather portion of the bookshelf, and it's the same kind of wood divider as are in the regular bookshelf block. So this is what we had to rely on back in the day, but now we don't need to. We have a much better block, the chiseled bookshelf. But anyway, let's go to the loom and start making this. Alright, so I know that I want a gradient. Alright, I need a ton of red dye, so let me bone meal this over and over, and then we will get to crafting these banners. I don't know if this is going to work out with the gradient that I just put on these banners, but yeah, we're gonna find out. So, turns out I messed everything up. I cannot start with a banner that has a gradient. I need to start with a banner that is a full solid color because I am adding different blocks of colors to that banner itself. So, I need to figure out how to switch my camera because that's always so difficult for me. I don't know why. To our creeper farm. More accurately, gunpowder farm and string farm. This is the only place in this little, ooh, you can probably see it there. That was a spider falling. Only spiders and creepers can spawn in this pillar, and I get a ton of gunpowder and string. There's that little cart working its magic, and boom, let me take a ton of string, and apparently some skeletons can spawn in there. I don't know how or why. We're gonna take this string and convert it into wool, because I don't have nearly enough sheep to make this happen. And this is quite a bit of wool. Man, that's really cool. Okay, back to 1000, the mega base to get this going. Here we are. Let's see about that. Ooh, cool S. And then we'll see about this. Perfect. All right, we have all the banners that we need. Let's go hang them up. Recods. Okay, let's see what this looks like here. Let's see, make sure I have everything correctly. Ooh, I really messed myself up with the records. Okay, I think this is the one that I need to do. Up there, boom. And then boom. This is hard to reach. There we go. There we go, boom. Nope, that is the wrong one. Oopsies. Oh man, why is Yogurt Night so difficult? Boom. I need you, come back! Boom. Boom, and a boom! Okay, let's step on back and see how this looks. Alright. Ooh, very cool. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. That looks so cool. It really brings this whole build together. You know, before it was just a nice unassuming building, but now this has purpose. Records. Ooh, I love how that looks. Going off to this angle to see that, don't worry about that blank side. There's going to be another building here touching it, so we don't need to focus on an exterior. That's what I love about these downtown buildings, is that you only need to build mainly the front facade and the roof. But you can see the record sign from this corner, and then what is even more important is that over in this corner, it is also very visible. Ooh, I like that. That is very cool. Yep, that sign looks really good. I'm so happy with how it turned out and how this whole entire building turned out. It looks so good. I cannot wait to fill these display windows with all of the different types of records and mini blocks and jukeboxes and all of that. Also, I just realized this will make a great motivation to try to collect all of the different types of records. Looks like we're going to create a fun little farm involving charge creepers. That is all the time that I have for this episode. I want to thank everyone for joining me here, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye! I'm lost! Time to go gather all of the Christmas leaves. Psst. Psst. I'm gonna set up a cutter. This is a fun game. Please, let me sleep in the bed. Ooh, I did it! Yes! I did it! Ha ha! Take that! Oh, who am I saying that to? I don't know.